Hi guys, we're back with another edition of We Are the Girls in Claret and Blue. You will notice that my co-host has changed slightly in the fact that Reese had some family commitments that he couldn't get out of, but we've had so much happen in the world of West Ham Women, we wanted to get to you live anyway. So this is Kate, and if any of you are regular readers of my blog, Adventures in Claret and Blue, in case you're not, you will know that Kate is my new partner, and I'm trying to convince her to join the ways of Claret and Blue. I've even lent her my lovely jacket.
I'm pretty convinced.
Oh, she's got the hair and yeah. Right, so yep. So we're going to get her in as a bit of a newbie to the team because she doesn't understand the suffering we have gone through, and we're going to go through the last couple of games that we've had, and also the upcoming game against Reading, as well as a couple of the players. So hopefully it should be a good podcast. But as Kate says, I'm going to do most of the talking. Yeah. She's just there to be the eye candy. So we're going to start off with a very painful subject, and I promised I'm not going to rant too much, unlike the Tottenham defeat, which if anybody watched that, I got quite passionate about, and that is the Man City game on Sunday. It was a 5-0 loss, which anybody who follows the men's game seems a bit standard with us against Man City. And I've got to be honest, it wasn't our best day. Never mind, letting 5 goals in, which would be a bad day by anyone's standards. Just the play wasn't great.
Yeah, I mean, look, positives. It was better than last year.
That's true.
And we didn't have to travel as far. So, there are worse things that could have happened. But yeah, so where do you think it started to get a bit wobbly?
To be honest, we let a goal in pretty quick, and I think that put us on a back foot. We weren't really, I think we went in with a defeatist attitude, to be honest. We sort of went in to think, it's Man City, we've lost every time we played them, and that's what we went in with. And we let in a goal pretty quick, and then after that, they just dominated and got on top of us pretty soon then, and we just didn't really get into the game. Our midfield was like quicksand. They weren't really moving. I think we were outclassed.
Yeah, and I think some credit to City that it wasn't, they're a tough team to come up against. They're smart, they're quick, it's not an easy thing to go into. So like the psychology of going into that, even if you are going into it thinking, no, we are going to win this, there's always going to be like a little niggle in the back of your head that,
Yeah, it's Man City,
Yeah.
They are the they are the FA Cup champions and the Continental Cup champions. Arsenal are the current champions. But to be honest, and like if you read the statements that Matt Beard has put out and what Gilly's put out, even the team know that wasn't a fantastic performance. And we were speaking to Gilly last night, and she said that she's never run so much in that game, and she's a defender, and defenders aren't supposed to run.
But you know what? Like, full credit to Gilly and to Matt for like coming forward straight away, like just being really honest.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone does that.
No, absolutely not. So, anybody, knows my feelings on the England situation when it comes to that. And also, this sounds a really backwards thing to say, considering we lost 5-0. But Anna actually was pretty on it. Like,
yeah, she had a tough job. You know what I mean? Like, you're up against Ellen White. Like, that for like Ellen's goal.
Yeah.
Nobody was stopping that.
No, exactly. It doesn't matter who you were. And Ellen was like pivotal to a lot of their chances, and we all know what a great player she is from her World Cup. So we were going to have an uphill struggle. But, Anna led the back line. She was getting vocal, getting involved. And a lot of the time, a lot of the goals were defence mess-ups. Like, again, not naming names, but like they would get in the way when Anna was trying to make a save. So therefore she had no chance. And I thought that actually, despite letting 5 goals in, it was one of Anna's best performances that I've seen, because she was much more controlled. She wasn't running out wildly like we've seen before. And I would say fair credit to Anna, because she's gone into that game with not as much game time as some of the other players, because obviously Matt seems to have been favouring Courtney as a goalkeeper recently. And I thought, fair play, Anna, you actually put up a pretty decent performance, but you were let down by a couple of other like defensive errors. I just think we let that first goal in and we just went out of it. A friend of mine who is a Man City fan, Peter, has joined us, and he actually said that we had a couple of standout players in Leanne Kernan, our Ireland international, and she's a bright spark.
She's fantastic.
Anyway, like she's pacey, she brings the game to us, and anybody who watches us regularly knows the love we have for Leanne. But he's also mentioned one of our brand new young players, and I'm going to let you pronounce her name.
What? Why? Kiss Kiss?
Yeah.
Is it? I don't know.
I think so.
Please tell me. I don't like mispronouncing people's names.
I'm pretty sure that's his, but she's one of our youth players. She's only 16, and she's one of the first that we've grown through our academy, which we set up last season, and she was fantastic and came close to scoring.
Closest we got.
At the very end, like it hit the bar, and Roebuck managed to gather at the end of it. But she is definitely a shining star to be seen, and I'm glad to see that we are nurturing the young talent, because the one thing West Ham is known for is our academy. In the men's side, we've I know you don't believe in men's football, but
it's fake news. Men's football. No.
But on the men's side, we've brought some great talent through our academy, so it's good to see that our women's are doing the same thing. But as Pete said, it was a bad day at the office. Like, it just wasn't a great game, and it was painful by the end.
Yeah, but take positives from it. Like you're saying, there were good moments. Where someone like head up and looked a bit bright, like Leon. Yeah, had some good moments, but I don't know what you think. Maybe it's like, is it communication? Is it?
That's what it seemed like. Somebody, I can't remember, I think the journalist said, I think it might have been Rich Lamptey, but I can't remember, so don't quote me if it was, who said the West Ham players are looking like 11 players that have never played together. And that's what it felt like. It did feel very disjointed. It felt like nobody was really looking what the others were doing. They were all very focused on their own roles. There was not very much link up. Our passing wasn't fantastic. It seemed to be like we would always get Man City players in the middle. Caroline Weir had a fantastic game. Pete, as so it was painful watching. The highlight for me was there was a small group of us West Ham fans that did not shut up the entire game. So I'm getting people to sing with me. That's what I'm excited about, because normally it's just me on my own. And even though,
I mean, you on your own sounds like about 12 people. So
this is true. So again, Pete is getting very vocal today. Thank you very much, Pete. So he says that it was Wooler's goal that demonstrated how poor the defence was, because Stanway's dragged 4 players towards her and left Tessa on her own. Speaking of Stanway, a moment that happened in the game that nobody noticed, apparently, was that Georgia got sent off. I don't remember that happening.
No, the thing is, we all saw her get a yellow, but I think because it was
a bad tackle on Kate. And if anybody has watched a West Ham women's game will know that that's a silly thing to do, because Kate is solid. Legitimately like a brick wall. That is why we have her as an attacking midfield, because you don't go up against Kate.
It's why we love her.
It's why we love her. She's, you can guarantee that dependability with Kate. So we saw that. We just didn't see the second yellow, and then it wasn't until I read the match report that it was like, wait, what? Pete, the all-knowing, has turned around and said, well, he noticed it.
Well,
So yes, but yeah, as Pete said, Hammers fans were vocal all game. We didn't shut up, and it was noticed by the players. Vettelin made a point of coming over to us to let us know that they heard, and so that's why I what's the word I'm thinking of here? I'm trying to. Encourage that all fans that are getting down to women's games, that you are that vocal, because it does make a world of difference to them.
Was that a pointed? I think that was a pointed look. This one doesn't. I'm protecting my vocal cords.
Yeah, and we'll get you singing Bubbles by the end.
I think at this point, it's basically like just stubbornness on my part, because I know you want it so much. If I didn't think you wanted it so much, I would have done it by now. So
good to know. So we're going to move on to a much more positive subject, which was the game last night against Lewis in the Continental Cup. It was a much needed victory, and it was also a must-win game, because if we didn't win this, we would have been out of our group. So we had to, I think, and we started off with the right lineup, the right energy, and we got a very quick goal. And then once we got that, we built on the momentum. We were passing really well. If they took the ball, we took it back pretty quick. And yeah, so how did you find it?
No, cold, but no, it was definitely much more positive. It was like we were saying, that the communication that was lacking in that City game, you could see it happening. You know what I mean? I mean, I very much enjoy watching Courtney play. I think she just has quite a strong positive influence. But yeah, so it, like, from there all the way through, they seem to know where each other were, which is always, you know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It was a fantastic game to watch. There was a slight dip in the second half. I don't know if we were resting on our laurels, because we were 3-0 up by half time, and we let it slip a bit, and we ended up conceding a goal. But overall, very bright, very happy with that sort of performance. And I honestly think the difference was a very key player in our back line, which was Brooke Hendricks. Brooke didn't start in the Man City game for reasons I don't understand. But she started in this game, and as my friend Joe pointed out last night, you feel comfortable when Brooke is in your back line. She's very calm. She'll take that minute to calm the game down, to slow the pace down where needed. Her and Gilly have a fantastic connection with each other, and I think that was a huge difference. You had a bit of a highlight of the game last night with the people that were in front of us.
Did I?
Yes.
What?
The little youth team that we have.
Oh God, they were so cute. It was so cute. They're just like, what was it, about 6 of them?
Yeah.
Just like little, maybe what like 10, 11?
10, 11 if that.
Something like that. And it was just like a little group of them. And it was so wonderful to watch. It's that like we've talked about it a lot of like, you know, if you see it, you can be it. And like, you know, when we were kids, being a professional footballer was like nowhere near an option. I mean, not for me anyway, because I'm terrible at sports. But just like seeing these little girls really like engaged and loving it, and seeing role models, and it was lovely. And they were like so into it all the way through, and it was just having the time of their lives, and it was just like the cutest thing, and it just makes me happy. It makes me really happy.
It was quite adorable, and like when we were chanting irons, they were chanting irons back, so we kept going and they kept going, and then by the end they seemed to be quite fixated on our Australian.
The big Jacinta fans.
Which,
you know, I understand. She's incredible. She's a little firecracker. She's brilliant. But yeah, they were very, very keen.
Yeah,
it was great.
On Jacinta, and then it moved on to kids.
Yeah, I think possibly the adults that were with them were like, that's enough of that now. So they were like, yes, miss. And then they moved on to and the 2 little girls behind us as well. Like, that's the thing. It's like there was not a huge number of people there, but of the people that were there were so many like little kids who were like just loving it.
Yeah.
And even though it was freezing, it was very cold. Yeah, but you know, they were there and they were loving it. It was just that's my favorite thing.
Yeah, no, yeah. The official figures were 650. My answer was
maybe like 400 of those people were very small and we couldn't see them.
Possible.
Yeah.
But no, back to the match in hand.
Yes.
Pete's got to come up with a song for Kiss Kiss. Oh dear.
Pete. I don't want to even imagine.
So the big, like, there was huge positives. Again, the backline was very controlled. Courtney, to be honest, didn't really have much to do first half. And the second half goal was a cracker of a goal. It was similar to anybody who's seen the goal against Chelsea for Lewis. It was a similar goal to that. So it was very hard save to make. The only criticism you could possibly make was that the midfield should have shut her down before.
Yeah, like she had a lot of space.
Yeah. Before getting that, they got us on the counter again, which is bringing up a point for me, which is the fact that we've not been able to keep a clean sheet for a little while.
Yeah,
like we're winning games. Like we won against Brighton, we beat Lewis. I mean, we did keep a clean sheet against Reading, which was very impressive. Again, Anna was on top form because to keep a clean sheet against Farrell Williams is pretty impressive. But it was, you know, seems to be our little downfall is that we can't quite keep a clean sheet, which if league places are going to be decided by goal difference, that's going to be a huge.
Yeah.
So what do you think we can do?
Me? Don't ask me. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here to fill a seat. Jesus. We've got Neil saying, pity we can, speaking of Australians, pity we can pick up Sam Kerr. I mean, yeah, obviously, all of us would have loved that. But, yeah, no.
Yes, but we are a realist. We probably couldn't afford her wages. But we do have some world-class players, Neil. So, like, Darley is a French international. We've got Lehman, who plays for the Swiss team. We've got Arth of Ireland, it seems. We've got I'm trying to think. Leon, who's Canadian international. Nationals. Van Hammy, who's a Norwegian international. We've got a couple of ex-internationals in Gilly, and our German Vettelin is also an ex-German. And when she's back, Simic is a ex-German international. So back soon. Yes, we spoke to her on the Man City game. She's training back on the pitch again, and her longer absence off of the pitch should be over very soon. We're hoping before Christmas, but most likely after Christmas. So can't wait to see Julia. And also Esme de Graaf should also be back on the pitch as long as Kate doesn't almost run her over.
I did nothing of the sort. I was just in a car and she was somewhere near.
We were driving into the car park yesterday and I was like, oh, don't run over that girl. And then she looked up and waved at me and went, that's Esme, do not run her over.
I wasn't gonna. Crick has questions.
Crick does have questions. 2 questions. 1, is Courtney your preferred keeper now? And 2, did you second keeper us? Well, technically Anna is our number 1, so therefore no, we did not. However, Matt seems to be preferring Courtney over Anna at the moment. So I don't know if there was a slight niggle with Courtney, so that's why he decided to start Anna that game, because Anna seems to be playing the cup games. But we do have 2 very good goalkeepers. Anna was a fantastic keeper for us last season, and I hope she does get more game time because she is a really good goalkeeper.
I mean, it's a good problem to have that they're both great. To be honest. Like they're, you know, different styles to a certain extent, but yeah, like ask me to choose between like Galaxy and Dairy Milk, and
yeah, Kate first Courtney.
I'm not playing favourites. I'm a neutral journalist right now.
You're on it, just. Crick, who is also a Man City fan, says we have that problem too. You do, but KB's been out for a very, very long time, and as much as I adore KB, she's going to have a very hard job getting back into that Man City squad because Roebuck has been doing a phenomenal job.
Oh yeah, Ellie's like incredible.
When even your backup keeper, who's the French keeper, who's can't even get in on cup games like tonight, KB's going to have a big problem getting back into that squad.
Yeah.
Also, a quick rundown for the Conti Cup for people who need to know what we're doing. I need to stop talking with my hands.
Just talk with your hands down here and no one can tell.
So, West Ham still have a chance of qualifying out of our group, and in fact, it's quite a good chance now. Reading, touch wood. Reading are currently beating Crystal Palace, which means they go back into the qualification spot over us tonight. However, it looks like it's going to be between us and Reading because Tottenham lost last night. We have Crystal
Say that
Palace.
again.
Yeah, Tottenham lost last night. The only time I'm cheering on Chelsea, except for this time. So we have Crystal Palace, who are in a division below, and Chelsea have will be playing Reading. Now, Chelsea are Chelsea, so we are hoping that they will beat Reading for us. And if we beat Crystal Palace, we jump back into the qualification spot and we will qualify in the second spot. Chelsea are already through. There's nothing that anybody else can do about that. So it is going to be between us and Reading for that second spot. So I'm hoping we'll beat Crystal Palace, Chelsea will beat Reading, and life is good. I also hope we don't get Man United in the next round like we did last time.
I'm saying nothing.
Did not end well. It's fine. It's fine. So we now look forward to the future in the game on Sunday, which is, funny enough, against Reading.
Hey!
We, as a club, have a fantastic record against Reading. Well, Alicia Lehman has a fantastic record against Reading.
Alicia has like a personal vendetta. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah. She's the only player of our players that has scored against Reading. She scored twice last season in the away match. She scored the goal that got us into the penalty shootout for the semi-final. And she scored again in the Conti Cup game a couple of weeks ago. So we do have a great record against Reading. However, it's not going to be an easy game by any means because Reading are made up of
Farrah Williams and several mini Fazes.
So it's England players like Jade Moore, Farrah Williams. We've also got they've got a cracking keeper in the Irish keeper, Grace Maloney, who was not playing against us when we won in the Conti Cup earlier this season. So that's going to be a huge difference. Though she did play against us when we beat them in the FA Cup semi-final. So it is doable. So what do you think is going to be our biggest challenge?
Why do you keep asking me questions?
Because you're not asking me questions.
Well, you're not giving me a chance, babe. Throwing it back at you. Well, no, like realistically, I do have quite a lot of respect for Reading. They're like solid. But like Faz is the biggest threat, really, isn't she?
Yes.
You can't deny even just the psychological thing of that is Farrah Williams.
Yeah.
Is to anyone who's going to be slightly terrifying. You know what I mean? Like she's not to be messed with. But you watch Reading; they don't always come together as a unit, as they. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So you just got to hope you catch them on an off day, really.
This is true.
Or beat an off day out of them.
This is true. The other thing that Reading are really good at that they didn't really do when we played them in the Conti Cup, but I have a feeling they might, is they're very good at set pieces. Farah has a mean boot, and if they get a free kick in a dangerous area, then she's very good at that. We're not very good at defending set pieces. We don't do very well with them. So that I think is probably going to be our biggest.
Is that lack of height? Do you think, or
Yeah, we're a very short team. If anybody who knows me from last season, all I kept saying is, I want height, I want height, I want height. Why do we have so many little people playing for us?
Coming from a little person, that's...
You've seen Brianna. Our ex-midfielder was shorter than I am, and I'm 5'4".
That takes effort.
And that does take effort.
Yeah.
So we do have a lack of height because, as Kate said when she met Jilly for the first time, you think our team is taller than they are just because of their presence. Yeah, she thought Jilly was much taller than she actually is.
I just assumed Jilly was about 5'8", 5'9". She's not.
She's about my height.
Yeah.
But we do have a lack of height, and I think that's why we're not very good at defending set pieces. But if he plays Brooke and Midag,
yes,
that's where the height will come from, and hopefully that will...
Midag is very, very long.
Midag is very, very long.
So that's that's gonna be the challenge.
Yes.
What are you hoping for in terms of the lineup then?
There we go. My friend Dan's just went, Brooke has height. Yes, Brooke is our only tall player, apart from Anna. What am I hoping for from the Reading lineup wise? Goalkeepers, I don't mind which one, to be honest. Anna has been fantastic against Reading in the games that we've played, because it was Becky in the first game, but Anna played in the game at the Majewski, both this season and last season, and she played in the FA Cup game. So and also we know what a great goalkeeper Courtney is. So I'm not bothered about which goalkeeper. The one player that has to start is Brooke. That is the only one I will honestly say it has to start is Brooke, because our defence crumbles when Brooke is not in it.
Do you want to segue straight in? Because I know you wanted to talk about Brooke today.
I do want to talk about Brooke today. So as any regular viewers of the We Are the Girls in Claret podcast know, we showcase a player, and our player this time is the legend. That is the woman, the myth, the legend. That is Brooke Hendricks. Brooke has been an absolute pivotal cog in our game, and it becomes very clear we don't do well when she's not in it. We saw that against the Man City game. We've seen that against countless games where he's just not started Brooke in the beginning of the season, and we just didn't click, we didn't gel. She seems to be the glue that keeps our defence together. So if we're going to have any shot of beating Reading, is that Brooke has to be starting. As Daniel says, Brooke Hendricks, the American hero.
Oh yeah.
I'm also pretty sure that Brooke's mother's coming to this game, so she's got to start for
inside track there.
Because I follow her on Twitter.
Fair. So, other than height, tell us why we love Brooke, because we do.
We do love her. She's fearless. Brooke is absolutely fearless, and she will go in for those last-ditch tackles, and she's timed those tackles to absolute perfection, because you often see, as with the case in the Man United game last weekend, Millie Turner, I think it was, timed a very bad tackle against Frank Kirby, which resulted in their penalty. We've seen it with Kira Walsh, timed a great tackle against a Man United player.
How dare you insult Kira in my presence?
Tell me or not, that tackle was terrible.
There was just no need to bring it.
We've seen some bad. Any Drew Spence tackle is a badly timed tackle.
I've got more time for Drew Spence than you do. It's fine.
This is true. But Brooke absolutely thinks she goes for the last ditch tackles every time, and she's so good that Gilly Flaherty has tweeted the FAWSL magazine twice for not including her in their team of the week. They've still ignored her, but if you're gonna, risk the ire of Gilly Flaherty, then
that's true captaincy right there.
True captaincy.
Standing up for your team. What a good egg.
So yes. So, do you have any particular play you think that we should play against Reading?
Oh, geez. I've been really enjoying watching Jacinta play.
Yes.
I think she's just so quick. and it's honestly, it's a joy to watch her little feet. She's fantastic. Yeah,
Just
into
in that same vein, I think Leanne.
Oh yeah.
Leanne again.
Any day of the week. Yeah.
Okay. Pete with the stats tonight. Pete, you're making my job easy. 63% of Reading's goals come in the first half, so keep it tight in the first 45 minutes. That is a good shout.
Yeah.
So
I mean, all the way through. It's generally a good idea. If you can just not let goals in, that's usually, I think that's how this game works, right? Sorry.
She's being very facetious right now. So that is all we have time for this week, mainly before Kate kills me. I thank Kate for stepping in at the last moment. Basically, I was like, please, will you come do my podcast with me? And she was like, I'm like, please. And then here we are.
You made me roasted vegetables, it's fine.
This is true.
Yeah.
Craig says Kate for manager.
I can manage a team of editors. That's about it. Yeah, no. Yeah, back to your regularly scheduled Reese next week. He actually knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, Reese will be back next week, where we will recap the Reading game that we will have seen, and also the dreaded Man United game, which is coming up on the 1st, which I am.
I mean, Pete's just said Neville out, Kate in. To be fair, Pete, I mean, Neville out, my cat in would be doing a better job. Yes, honestly,
this is true. Again, any regular viewers to the podcast are very aware of the fact that we do not like Phil Neville's podcast.
I'm sure he's a perfectly lovely person.
He did give me his biscuits once.
Well, why do people keep giving you biscuits?
I went to see Man City play in the Conti Cup final a couple of years ago, and we were in a box. It's where me and Quick met for the first time. And he was in the box next to us, and he didn't eat his biscuits, so he gave us the plate of biscuits.
I mean, yeah, like I say, probably a perfectly decent human being, but he has some flaws.
Oh, very quickly, not West Ham related, but it just half his name is evil, like literally. Yes, this is true. Quick. A brilliant appointment for the England squad.
Oh, yes.
In the fact that Dawn Scott, our Americans may know her as she was quite pivotal in the nutrition and the fitness of the American squad, has left the USA team, just like Jill Ellis has, and has now officially signed up for the England team as their fitness coach. This is going to be interesting because many have credited Dawn with being one of the key successes to the US in the recent years, and so to have her over on the England squad is going to be a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, a lot of players been singing her praises, and yeah, should be exciting. Neville out, biscuits in.
That sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I feel like a good bourbon would do a really good job. Just like.
Though as Dan says, as long as England don't replace Phil Neville with Matt Beard, no, we do not want that.
No, need him.
No, I'm being selfish. Club over country, want to stay in at West Ham. Right, actually going to sign off now. Yeah. So next week Reese will be back, where we will discuss the Reading game and highlight the dreaded Man United game, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah, she's not going. She's whipping out. And we will see you all next week. Thank you very much for tuning in. Bye, guys.
Press the button.